Good morning. I thought we'd work on a little puppy. We're gonna do where's the thing? There we go. So I hope everyone's doing good this morning. I have found that when I wake up early, it's like, okay, it's a good time to do a Wipnchat. It's supposed to start raining here today. Yesterday was gorgeous. It just, me and Bella enjoyed yesterday. I didn't get much diamond painting done. When it's pretty, I'm an outdoors person. I have always have been an outdoors person. And when it's pretty, oh, I can't hardly stand to be inside. I know as a kid, never stayed inside. Now my sister Donna, she was totally different. She was an indoors person. Not me. And my nephew, Ricky, of course, he was just 4 years younger than me. And during the summer, when school was out, he would come and spend the summer with us. So me and him grew up kind of together. And he felt more like a brother than a nephew. And we used to run through the woods and play. And I remember one time we dug big holes. I mean, they were deep. We worked hard on those, digging those holes out. And we'd get down and sit in them and pretend that they was there. Airplanes, and we was airplane fighters, and then they were our spaceships. Yes, I had a very active imagination, and so did he. We'd swing on grapevines. We'd have so much fun. He passed away in 2022. He, of cancer. but he was such, yeah, I thought a lot of him. And he lived in Indiana, and he was in the hospital. He had brain cancer, and I got this message, and there he was. Showed him laying on the bed, and he had all this stuff attached to his head and stuff. And he started messaging me, and I thought, okay, what's going on? He had his nurse to message me, because she said, I'm Rick's nurse. Of course, they call, when he got older, he was called Rick. To me, he'll always be Ricky. And I told him, I said, you'll always be Ricky. We reminisced about old times, but he'd tell the nurse what to type. And I thought to myself, she's sitting there getting to hear all their childhood memories. And then finally she said, Rick's gonna have to go. He has to go for some tests. And a couple days later, he passed away. That was hard. But the good thing, he was saved, and I'll get to see him again. So even though I cry because I miss him, I'll get to see him again. So that'll be a fun day. He loved chickens. And when he was little, of course, we raised chickens, and he would come out and help us. And an old hen had some baby chickens, and Weasel killed her. So he wanted a baby chicken, so Mama gave him one, and he named it Joanne. Come find out, Joanne was a rooster. Of course, when they're babies, it's hard to tell. And that rooster, I mean, it was a beautiful rooster. And it lived to be old. Guys, I don't know what got me to thinking about him. We used to swing on grapevines as a kid. We lived out in the country. I always lived in the country. And growing up, it seemed like we lived out in no man's land. And we would find a grapevine, and we'd start swinging on it. Lo and behold, no sooner we'd get this really good grapevine, my daddy'd come along and cut it down. So we'd be on the hunt for the next grapevine. Back in my day, we didn't have iPads and all that stuff. And you didn't sit in a house. You got out and played. And kids did not, when I was growing up, kids didn't sit around and listen to grown-up talk. If we had company to come home to our house, Mama would look at us kids. I don't care what we was doing inside. Mama would look at us kids and say, "This ain't none of your business. Get outside and play." And we'd have to, because Mama, Daddy didn't believe in kids sitting around listening to grown-ups talk. You got out and played. I got that gorilla putty here, but I forgot to put it here, so I don't want to take time. I had pins, diamond pins, all over the house. I forgot to do the little eyebrows. My poor little puppy didn't have eyebrows. Yeah, I woke up reminiscing about my childhood this morning. Uh-oh, got the wrong side. And of course, when I grew up, you did your chores. Once your chores got done, you went and played, and you didn't come in until Mama called you in. When Mama called you in, then you could go back in the house. You stayed back outside. She'd call. Usually it was for lunch and supper. Or if she had some chore for you to do. And let me tell you, when Mama tell you to do a chore, you wouldn't stand there and argue. She'd tell you to do a chore, and you did it. Because you knew if you didn't, you knew what you got. I grew up in a totally different time. Now I see kids get up in their parents' face and back talk them. And I'm thinking, whoa, if I'd done that to my mom, I'd be picking myself up off the ground. And if you grew up in the era I grew up, you probably know what I'm talking about. Nowadays, the parents are too busy trying to be their child's best friend. I loved my son. My son was spoiled rotten, and he would tell you. But there was discipline. I never spanked him, but there was consequence. Nowadays, there's no consequence. And I think that's where we're missing out. And how I got on this subject, I have no clue, because as I said, I woke up this morning thinking about childhood and just a lot of things going through this old mind. I had a rough childhood, and at the time, at the time you growing up, you think, all you can do is see the now, it happening at the moment. But once you get grown and start looking back, you start remembering the good times, not as much as the bad times. These little coasters are turning out so much better than I even ever. I mean, they were cute. I thought they were cute, but they are so cute. We've got one more to work on, and then we'll work on our kittens. And then after our kittens, we've got the dragonflies. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Wipnchat, because with these Wipnchats, I get to spend time with you guys. And that's the important thing, spending time with someone. You get to sit down, relax, get to share. Reminisce. Me and Ricky, our favorite thing to play when we grew up was cowboys and Indians. And we would use acorns as our bullets. Yeah, we'd throw them. I remember one time I was climbing over this wooden fence my dad had built. And just as I climbed over it, he threw an acorn and it hit me. And I guess it surprised me. And I fell, I lost footing. Well, when I fell, there was a nail on that plank. Oh my, it cut my leg. I was bleeding. I went to the house. My mom washed it and cleaned it up. And she said, I said something, and she looked at me and she said, it's not going to kill you. And who remembers methylate or mercurochrome? Some people called it mercurochrome. That red stuff. Oh, when I grew up, every time you got a cut, a splinter, my mom would slap it, methylate on you. So she took some methylate, and all that stuff, it would set you on fire. And I was squealing because it was burning. And she looked at me and she said, oh, quit acting. It's too far from your heart. You ain't going to die. Because there was 8 of us kids. And I'm sure by the end of the day, my poor mom was wore out. Because you got 8 kids going in 8 different directions. Phew. I had one, and he wore me out by the end of the day because he was so active. And I was in my 30s. It was so, yeah. And of course, my mom was in her 30s when I was born. So, and like I said, by the time I was 4, my oldest brother was done married, and Ricky was the first grandchild. I tell you, time flies. As they say, time flies when you're having fun. We have Easter is so early this year. It's like, good grief. That just going to make it seem like the year is passing on. Because I always seemed like Easter came in April. Now, it's the last day of March. But that week is my favorite week because we have what's called Holy Week. And for that whole week, a different pastor will preach. All the churches in town will come together, and each day a different pastor will preach. And like if it's your church's day, let's say Living Word's day is on a Monday. Well, us ladies, or guys, most time it's ladies though, will fix the lunch for that day. And so after the preaching, we have a small meal and a get together and just come together in the community. So during that week, a lot of people will take their lunch breaks and come to the service. So that's always a good time to come together. And then I'm going to have to take you guys up on Alpine. Remind me to do that. It's here in town, and it's a motel, and it overlooks Burkesville. And we have a sunrise service, and we go up there and we sing some songs and have a short little sermon and watch the sunrise. So this year, I won't be able to film the singing because of copyright thing. But I'll be able to film the sunrise. Now, last year I was late. Yeah, I got up there and it had done started. But it's always so cold. Oh. Because you're high up. You'll see. So remind me to do that. There. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to stop here because of time. If it goes too long, I can't get it to upload. So we'll finish this one tomorrow. There's what we got so far. So we'll finish this one tomorrow. And then we'll start working on this one. So thank you guys for stopping by and spending some time with me this morning. I put it on wrong. After having it right, I took it off to show it, and then I put it back on wrong. Okay, I got it. So, you guys enjoy the day. I know some areas is expecting storms, so please be careful and please be aware of what's happening around you. God bless you. Take care. Bye, guys.